Hi, I'm Krista Cloutier, talking to you today from a rainy afternoon in the country. You know, I'm an artist, just like you, but I'm also the creator of the Working Artist Masterclass at theworkingartist.com. Through my online program, I work with artists from all around the world, showing them how to build sustainable creative careers. Today, I wanted to share some of the questions, the real-life questions that artists ask me, because I think you might have these same questions too, and I would love to help. So let's get started. I'm actually going to read these questions from the screen. So David asked the first question. David wrote, I never actually exhibited art since finishing my art degree. I'm wondering what to put on my CV. Right now it looks kind of bleak. I get it. But never, ever apologize for your experiences and life path, David. And that goes for all of you. You know, no one has to see your CV. You don't have to post it on your website, and you don't have to wave it around at parties. It's a professional tool, and at some point, someone may very well ask you for it, so you do want to have it ready. But it's also a tool for yourself. Your CV, which is also known as your resume, is for keeping track of everything you do. Now, it's natural that you don't have anything to put on your CV right now if you haven't had much experience. But I want you to give it some thought because you might remember some experiences that you'd forgotten about, particularly if you went to art school like David did. But when you're just starting out, your challenge is to build your CV. I don't want you to worry about apologizing for what you don't have. I want you to get excited about all of the experiences that you will have. If your CV is so short that it's causing you shame, just submit your bio when someone asks. This usually works fine. Unless, of course, it's a specific professional request, like if you're applying for a grant or an award or a residency program where you have to follow all of the rules strictly. But you will have a CV that makes you proud one day soon because you're building it now and you're keeping it to yourself until you're ready to share it. That's just fine. I'm really grateful to David for that question because quite honestly, that's a question that I get a lot. You know, through the Working Artist Masterclass, I hold these monthly coaching calls with artists, not only with artists who are taking the class at the time, but also with the alumni. They're invited to the calls too. That way I can continue to support my artists. Now, the beauty of the coaching calls is that we're building this international community of artists online. People now are getting to know one another, and I've seen artists even plan real-life meetups too. I'm really proud of the community that we're putting together at The Working Artist. And these questions that I'm reading to you today, they're actually coming directly from those coaching calls. Okay, so I'm going to read the next question. Sapito asked, why do I have to put every single little professional activity on my CV? I've already forgotten a lot of them. Okay, Sapito, I hear you. And I know a lot of artists don't like to update their CV. But that's too bad. It's got to be done. Now, there are several reasons why I want you to update your CV, also known as your resume, remember. And these are the reasons why I want you to keep it updated. The first reason is that this is a professional tool and you are aiming to be a professional artist. This isn't the time to do things halfway or to ignore your responsibilities. Working artists have CVs that reflect their professional history. They do it for documentation reasons, they do it for tax reasons, and they do it for legacy. Listen, you don't know which way your career is going to go. It's far better to be prepared for your success. What if someone wants to give you a retrospective one day? Or to create a catalog resume of your work? You're going to need to have documented where your work has been seen and what your professional activities have been. Trust me, this is not something that you want to cobble together at the last minute while you're struggling to remember. this is something that you want to start putting in place right now. Plan for your professional success and take the steps to get there. You know, research shows that the artists who are remembered after they pass away, the artists whose work continues to show and to sell and to resonate even after they die, are those artists who kept good records. Seriously, there's a direct correlation. But when an artist hasn't even bothered to keep records, the sad fate of most of that artwork is the dumpster. And that's heartbreaking. So, updating your CV, organizing and archiving your work, documenting everything, these things have long-lasting consequences. They really do. Thanks for that question, Sapito. Listen, if you're feeling lost about how to write a proper CV, how to best document your work, and how to get organized to work as a professional, I invite you to check out the Working Artist Masterclass at theworkingartist.com. In the class, I will walk you through this journey every step of the way. And I promise not to overwhelm you. This class is designed to avoid stress, but maximize results. And then, like I said, I continue to support my alumni with monthly coaching calls where you can ask me anything. Well, anything related to art, not to life. I've got art answers, but I've not worked on the life answers yet. Okay, next question. Diana asked, I'm having trouble writing my artist statement because I'm still trying to play with different things like landscapes, portraits, and photography, etc. So how do I understand what my work is really about so that I can express it in my artist statement? Start keeping notes, Diana. Start keeping notes, everybody. Carry a notebook with you at all times. Whenever thoughts come to you about your art, write them down, especially when you're working. Be sure to have a pen and paper there to collect ideas, to collect inspiration and insights. Right now, it's just a research project. You're researching your inner life. You're researching the ideas that influence your work. And you're capturing words and phrases that resonate with you. I think doing this, together with exploring the different avenues of subject matter and mediums, are going to help you create a really solid artist statement when you're ready. What you're looking for is that golden thread that ties your work together, that makes it uniquely your own. Is it your technique? Is it your medium? Is it the ideas or the themes behind your work? Start gathering your ideas and influences in one place because this is going to make it so much easier when it's time to write that statement. Thanks for your question. Okay, here's the next one. Nicholas asked, will not having a college art degree be a deterrent to collectors? Absolutely not, Nicholas. Being authentic and working hard at your craft, these are what you need to focus on. Never, ever apologize for your experiences. You know, statistically, only 60% of professional artists ever went to art school. So an art degree doesn't really carry that much weight. To my mind, it just carries a lot of student loan, right? But very few collectors are ever going to read your resume anyway, because it's not really for your collectors. So I just wouldn't sweat it. I know a lot of artists worry about that piece of paper, that college art degree, but you really don't have to. You know, I went to art school, but I can't say that going to art school really helped me at all with the business side of art. What happened for me is that after I graduated from art school, I took a job in an art studio, a pretty prestigious studio as a matter of fact, and my job became selling art that was created in that studio. I sold art to galleries and museums and corporate collections and to interior designers and at art fairs, and then I opened a gallery myself. You know, artists are always telling me how hard it is to sell their work. I totally get it. I was doing exactly what you do, only I was doing it for like 50 other artists. And you're right, it is hard. It's really frigging hard, but certainly not impossible. If I could learn how to connect with art world decision makers and place work in important collections and introduce emerging artists to the marketplace, then you can learn how to promote your work too. And that's why I do what I do. I teach artists like you how to show and sell more work, how to organize your work and your practice to build a sustainable career as a working artist. This is my passion now, to use my professional experiences to help other artists create their own professional experiences. That's what the working artist is all about. Okay, next question. Sean asked, how can I present my non-artistic past life so that it reflects positively on my art career? I've noticed that when I tell artists or other art professionals about my medical background, they stop taking my work seriously. Okay, I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. Never ever apologize for your experiences. Sean, medicine is part of your story. You get to decide how you tell that story. Obviously, you're not telling that story in a way that's connecting right now. So create a new way of telling your story. The more that you can show how your work in medicine has informed your work as an artist and who you are as an artist, the better. So spend some real time thinking about that, because your path is really unique and it gives you an interesting perspective. You just need to find a better way of talking about it. You know, one thing that always works is story. If you can incorporate a story around your story, people won't be able to help but listen. But if you're an artist whose outside work has absolutely nothing to do with your art, then you don't have to share that side of yourself. You decide what your story is and what it will be. It's funny that so many of my answers to today's questions are about not apologizing for your experiences or your perceived lack of experiences. Have you noticed that? Just be yourself and find a way to share the story of you. That's the best way to connect with buyers. That's the best way to write your CV, your artist statement, and it makes life so much easier. All right, that's all of my real-life questions for today. I hope this was helpful. Let me know, and I'll do more. And again, visit theworkingartist.com if you would like to learn more about how I work with artists.